there guys, gals, non-binary pals, GM Potter here. Welcome to my channel where I talk about books and bookish things. I upload on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Central Time. I am an independent author, an avid reader, and a cat mom of 4. And today I thought we would talk about a book that has been on my TBR for years, since the movie 10 Things I Hate About You came out, and that is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. So let's get into it. This book came out in 1963 originally in the UK. It was not published in the US until 1971. I did do a dual, listening to this one as an audiobook and reading the physical book. It's about 7 hours in audiobook and 296 pages in this edition that I have here. It is a roman à clef. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I haven't taken French since high school, which was I took French in 2006, so it's been a minute, which means that it mirrors the author's life and draws from the author's own lived experience without being fully autobiographical. And this one is a coming-of-age novel about a young girl in the throes of a mental health crisis. Esther Greenwood has a mental health breakdown at 19. She's an undergrad student at a university in a Boston suburb. This takes place over the summer where she's working an internship, where she comes down with horrible anxiety and depression. It's possible, I don't want to armchair psychologist this thing, but it mirrors the feelings of Joanna Kaysen in the book Girl Interrupted, if you've read that book. If you watch the movie's great. The book goes into so much more detail, because it does. At times when the character is describing the frenetic energy of being in an anxiety situation, it mirrors some of the writing in the first half of Go Ask Alice, which is not a true story, it's made up, which came out in 1971. Girl Interrupted, the book, came out in 1993. The book gets its title from the overwhelming weight of depression being like if you were a small person, or there was a really big bell jar, like a big glass cloche that was brought down on top of you, and you're slowly running out of air and you can't breathe and there's nothing you can do to get out. That's where it gets the title from. This book has been frequently banned and challenged, both, particularly in high schools in the US, for themes of sexuality, suicide, rejecting societal norms, and profanity. There's quite a bit of profanity in this book. I imagine it was very salacious in the late 60s and early 70s. I'm going to put this down because my hand's starting to shake. It is very much realistic. As someone who has dealt with mental health issues, it's very relatable to me in a way that scared me. I did not expect this book to be as relatable as it was, and the fact that it was just very hard to deal with. So I was not expecting that. Like I said in the intro, I first became aware of this book with the movie 10 Things I Hate About You. The character is reading this oversized prop of a book that is The Bell Jar, which, why would you have an edition that's that big? It's only this thick. It's not a terribly long book, but she was reading it and she was very much a not like other girls character while I was going through my not like other girls phase. I'm glad to say that it's just a phase, but I digress. And I wanted to read all the books that Kat read in that book, so I now have. I read The Feminine Mystique. I listened to a lot of her music. A lot of it's really good. Bikini Kill, Letters to Cleo, both great bands. But I finally got around to reading The Bell Jar this year, and I wouldn't say it changed my life, but had I read it earlier, it might have. It might have made me feel less alone in my mental health struggles, because it is so close to what I was experiencing, like I said, in a way that scared me, in a way that gave me pause, that I was just like, oh, okay. The hardest thing about reading this book, because the book does end with hope, that the character, Esther Greenwood, gets better for now. But she talks about much like the sword of Damocles hanging over your head, the bell jar could descend back down upon you at any minute, and she knows this. The author, Sylvia Plath, committed suicide. It didn't come out until after her death in the US, per her family's wishes. This one, I don't know if I'll be able to read it again. I think this is a once was enough kind of a book. And I don't think I could say that I enjoyed it, but I would say it is worth reading, especially if you or someone in your life struggles with mental health issues. It might give you some sort of an inner look at what's going on for them. It might not. It might be triggering, so take your own health and safety into account before you read this, because it is a very honest look at mental health struggles. It's probably the most honest look at mental health struggles that I've read, especially because the author based so much of it on her own experience. Reading something like this is just hard to do because it's real, because you know what happened to the author. And like, the author, by the time she finished the book, was feeling better because she got it out of her head and onto the page. But it wasn't enough. She didn't get to live the happy ending. That being said, this book is 5 of 5 stars for me. The writing is very good. I've read a lot of Sylvia Plath's poetry and enjoyed that as much as you can enjoy Sylvia Plath's poetry. She just strikes a chord with me, that it just hits in a way that other authors don't. And I'm very glad to have read this. I'm glad to have experienced it. I'm glad I was in a safe space mentally to read it. And I'm going to hold on to my copy, but I don't know if I'll be able to read it again. Have you read The Bell Jar? What did you think of it? Were you one of the people that didn't get it or didn't like it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.